Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at Equinor. This was a stock analysis request from one of the followers, and I wanted to let you know that anyone can make these requests and I will most likely cover them, especially if there is an actionable trade setup to follow. Now in the case of this chart, we are tracking a pretty basic 1-2 setup that has occurred over the long time frame, and now we are looking for a larger wave 3 to the upside, where unfortunately we do not really have a 5-wave move up. We do not have a clear structure either, and yeah, it is also quite out of proportions for an actual wave 1 of a wave 3, where normally I would be looking for an ideal target in the wave 3 at the 138.2% extension, and when you reach within the first wave to the upside, the 100% extension, it does give off quite significant wave C vibes, where that would be the ideal target for a wave C. Now, I'm not saying this is the case for this chart. I do actually have a count that could allow for quite a bullish interpretation. Now, since we only have here a 3-wave structure to the upside, we would normally be looking for a wave 4 correction, but since this wave 4 actually extended so much, I find it a bit difficult to work out for this wave 2, and instead, I would rather be looking for something more bullish, where I would consider this a series of 1-2 setups that occurred in this area, and finally as this the latest 1-2 setup, where I would be looking at such a count where this is 1, this is a 2, we are looking for a third, a fourth, and a fifth to complete an internal wave 3, where then we would still have these 1-2 setups incomplete even after this entire movement does fulfill the pattern. Now, for this to actually work out, we do have to hold the support zone, or at least to have high probabilities, we do have to hold the support zone for such a wave 2, and that would be between the 292 NOK level, I'm not sure what the currency name is, all the way down to the 203 level at the 78.6% retracement. Now, as long as we stay above the 78.6% retracement, we do have an acceptable likelihood. Now, based on the lack of clarity of this chart, it's not the perfect setup, but it is an acceptable likelihood for continuation in the third wave to the upside, that we do actually have quite bullish targets for such an interpretation, where if we already bottomed here in a wave 2, I would be looking for an ideal target at the $812 or not dollar NOK level at the 138.2% extension. Now, there is no confirmation that we have already bottomed, and I will be tracking this closely. But we also have to consider the fact that so far to the upside we really only have a 3-wave structure, nothing very reliable either. So we have to keep a very close eye on the movement that is still occurring. Now, in this correction in a wave 2, it does seem to have developed as a WXY movement to the downside, and I'm not even completely certain that this wave Y is complete, where this could actually still see another low. Now, I'm not too set on that. I am completely fine with building an initial leading diagonal to the upside that would be still in a 5-wave structure, because then we would have a wave 1 and we can look for an additional wave 2 correction that would provide a very significant level of confirmation for this count, where we would be looking for a third wave to the upside. And if we are actually attempting to build something stronger out of this diagonal structure directly, it cannot really work out in a third wave of such degree, of such count. We must have an impulse. So we cannot be looking for an ABC structure within this wave 3. We cannot be looking for an internal diagonal structure within the internal wave 3 inside. So even if we build a 5-wave move to the upside and then we have our 3-wave correction, if we again build a diagonal structure to the upside, that would actually be an indication that it is not a wave 3 entirely. Now, we can still also look for the upside even if we break below the 78.6% retracement, but the likelihood of it working out would decrease severely. But the actual invalidation point for this push, this interpretation in blue to the upside, would be the beginning of the wave 1 at around the 167 NOK level. And that a break below that would actually be a pretty great warning that this entire structure might fail. Now on this chart, we do also have it on a different exchange where it is tracking the dollar, so it does also include the foreign exchange impact. So yeah, within a very similar interpretation in this 1-2 setup, we did already reach the 78.6% retracement. Now again, we did hold it, so the likelihood for continuation to the upside is perfectly fine. I am still looking for a very similar interpretation even on this chart, but on this chart I could actually argue a little bit that this is a 1, this is a 2, this is a third wave up, a fourth wave down, and then here a fifth wave. Not a pretty count by any means, but if we actually fail to hold support here in a wave 2, I could see it working out within the white scenario, where I am looking here at a larger 1-2 setup, where yeah, breaking below the beginning of this wave 1 in blue could actually still follow up in continuation to the upside. So yeah, it is a bit more difficult to track charts that are in different exchanges that are heavily traded. There is a lot of volume in both exchanges, actually very similar. So I prefer to track the general market sentiment on the native chart, on the chart that the company, the primary exchange of the company in this case. But yeah, failure below this point would actually need the help of the structure on the American exchange side for a continuation to the upside. Now, if we look at the internal structure, there really isn't much else to add. I could also add here the count that we have on the other exchange, but yeah, I am looking for a larger 5-wave move to the upside to develop. Now, if we push lower, we would have to look at a reset within the wave 2, but again, I would be looking for a 5-wave structure to the upside. And if we manage to form afterwards a smaller 5-wave move to the upside, that would again improve the probabilities of this working out. Now, I am looking at the general support zone area on both charts, and personally, if I were interested in this, I would consider a position in this area. And for now, these are the levels. This is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.